Welcome back, guys. Ana meta in 2018 in HGC Korea? Probably not, but did have a nice comeback win in that game with BlossoM. They're down to 7% on their core. Barely defended. And I mean barely. Like
Barely,
the catapults
yes.
almost killed the core in the early game. We're talking like level 14 or 15 or something
maybe
like that.
maybe 12 minutes into the
Yeah.
game, it was basically over. Few like 2-3 more shots would have been game ending. They barely defended that by having the immortal, of course, going to the healthier lane all the time. It was a really good game, but a dangerous one, I would say. Still to BlossoM. Maybe it could be a new thing coming in, but they have to have every single thing lined up. But of course, starting from Medivh. But from now on, going into game 3, I think Ballistix will just ban that Medivh.
Yeah,
Very likely.
I think it's reasonable. They banned Maiev in both games 1 and 2. So if they're confident enough to, well, we'll see, because BlossoM could ban the Maiev as well, as they had the Genji bans coming through. There's ways you could play around the Maiev. Medivh has been highly prioritized. Another thing you could do as Ballistix in this draft now going to game 3 is to first ban the, first pick the Medivh yourself. But they take your approach, we'll ban.
Oh?
Sometimes you just gotta show that Hero Hexagon's pretty cool.
Well,
so Genji's open now. That's the switch this time.
Hans is also open. But Ballistix will actually try with the Genji this time.
So what they were doing against Ace, preferring the Genji.
Avatar? Maybe again? I'm sure that pick is in BlossoM's mind when we go to the second ban, but they lost that Medivh now. What are they going to do? It's Malfurion Tracer if they want to.
I think that's a smart move for this map as well. Tracer's great at harassing. She can build so many pulse bombs on the camps. Yeah.
Actually, Love to the Tutu has been playing on a great Tracer so far. But they will lose the Sonya because of these two picks. Okay, Avatar once again. Ballistix is going for that clone Genji.
They ran this on Cursed Hollow, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So let's see how it works this time.
They ran this one on Sky Temple.
No, Sky Temple.
And BOE.
And BOE.
This is a different map, but I feel like similar type of... Ooh, banning Uther.
That's kind of a weak ban here, I think.
Okay,
yesterday Avatar Tyrael.
Well, yesterday Ace also banned Uther, but Ballistix was willing to actually pick Rehgar instead because they want more damage, diving in along with Genji to get kills. And they finished up with Rehgar Dehaka yesterday in twice out of the 3 games that they played the clone Genji comp with. Sonya ban. I love this ban now. No teams has done this for the second ban. Because Sonya was kind of like the Greymane, it's not really worth the ban card, but always pretty strong with the wave, with the solo lane. But now Ballistix losing, Wiz actually lost so much power because of this. Can they actually bring Zeratul here? Maybe to counter Saseng, but I think Sonya was the best one to pair up with the Tracer.
Yeah, also removes any sort of really hard lane pressure against an Avatar who's body soaking. So Avatar can theoretically now soak 2 lanes against almost any solo laner in the game. Like, Malthael, as great as he pushes lanes, he was much stronger before the new changes and obviously his nerfs. But now, you know, he just can't do as much. They're just messing around with these supports. Double support now. Karzim.
Oh baby! Tracer can never die with the palm. And actually steals that Dehaka away. That's another way of destroying what Ballistix wants to do.
That's the best hero they could have picked to really hit on Avatar hard. Leoric would be like a close third, I guess, but Sony was by far the most annoying solo laner to deal with the Avatar pick, so I love this.
And Palm, oftentimes Genji is looking for that reset off the clone, doing tons of damage to a solo target. Either it's going to be Malfurion or Tracer if possible, but they have the Palm now, so we'll not be getting that reset for maximum power. something about BlossoM ever since they got 4th place and went to that Eastern Clash, they have really improved.
Yeah, they're just a better team now. Like, bar none, like they are a strong contender to make Midseason Brawl. They absolutely are now. Diablo makes it through the draft. They lock him in. Gondar's got another opportunity.
Diablo basically means that Diablo will not die against the Clone Genji. It'll be super tough to actually burst through that barcode of Diablo's HP. Oh man, I love the style of BlossoM right now. How they are able to really counter against what Ballistix did last night. They prepared this in less than 20 hours.
Yeah. Diablo will have to be kept alive to make sure he can get the maximum value out of his soul stones, but with double support, he is also going to have more opportunities to be kept alive. Palm with percentage-based healing coming through is a lot of heals for the Diablo. Let's see how this one all pans out as we head into this match where they'll determine who is moving into match point. Junga with the rare Arthas pick here, looking for extra roots and extra slows for the more aggressive dive comp of BlossoM.
Junga, I don't think he ever liked playing Arthas only once this season, and also when Arthas was super meta last year, he only played it 7 times. And on top of that, Leoric 7, Tyrael, Sonya, Dehaka, so you can really tell that he does not prefer to play Arthas unless he really has to because of all the bans and stealaways. Now BlossoM has the global against an Avatar, so in terms of the macro fights, I think he would be about as equal. And we saw lots of due to just farming that pulse bomb alone with the sappers. Let's see if that continues in this game.
Yeah, that's, I think, one of the big plans with this Tracer pick for the map.
I think it's a lot harder because Ballistix, they have a good dive against that comp. They will notice if Dutu is missing from the lane and there's the camp available. They can always go for an invade.
Alright, well, SC and Magi just going to look for a passing member here. As soon as this camp unlocks, they can tear it down. There's not much they can do against 3 here, unfortunately. SC wants to get some harassment done. Tyrael's coming over. Okay, Hooligan has not been seen. Here's the Aldruins. Committing in with the hat. There's the target onto Gondar.
Oh,
he gets
no
blown
escape.
up. That's huge because he has no escape, as you say, and also now he's not farming souls. That's going to delay his power spike.
That's the best move. Not letting Diablo get that soul. Get that pick early to make sure that Diablo doesn't get any stronger anytime soon. And also Malfurion was away, but Ballistix knew that rotation. Great time to invade, just
now,
knowing the macro.
Look at the top lane. Dialka's pressuring the Abathur, but if it were Sonya, Abathur just simply could not be there right now. The wall would be dead by now because of how much damage Sonya could do compared to a Dehaka. So the Sonya ban coming back to it really makes a lot of sense here. It's really keeping Abathur more free to body soak while soaking other lanes, while symbioting other lanes. Feeling like a real hero in the early game. That's what Ballistix is so good at doing with this Abathur pick, is making it feel like, you know, that early game loss is not really a loss at all. Malfurion gets picked here, partially due to that Abathur. And I don't care how much Magi wants to say in his interviews that he's a passive healer. He is great on the Rhaegar. He does a lot of extra damage. Very aggressive. Triple altar phase. Sapper's controlled. Tracer can't build pulse bombs on those, can't take those. If she's dying, people taking them from her.
BlossoM doesn't have a Medivh in this one. So it's a different game with a different approach that they have to take. With the camps invaded, they have started their macro, but it's very slow. I would say just take it passive until 10 and then try to pair it up with the combo. They have a lot of tools to save themselves.
Okay.
Also the global.
Neutral altar down here going to be controlled by the fact that this is a global. Dehaka is going to send one more wave, I think, then look for a flank. They have to interrupt, though. That was a close call. Modern Life does get interrupted. Doc is still working on that that top wave. Symbiote's doing a lot here for Jung-Ah, but Magi is caught, blown up here by the burst damage coming through from Karazim.
Swift move from Dutu there.
Gondar, he needs to get another charge. He doesn't have one.
Very low. Pulse Bomb is building up. About half now.
Yeah. Symbiote can't do too much for you at this early game. When Dahaka's down, there's a grab. This looks like a win for BlossoM as Jung-Ah tries to kite back with all the extra damage and mobility from Karazim plus Tracer. No one complains about Karazim's mobility because he's not an Overwatch hero, but let me tell you, he can be very annoying to deal with when in situations like this where you think you're barely about to get away with low health. He's just going to dash right on top of you.
Well, that teamfight went for a long fight. No clone yet available. So they were missing the focus. If it was Dehaka instead of Arthas, where Arthas can't really line up with the damage of Genji diving in. If they had a few more CCs, it could have been better. But Genji Rehgar damage was not enough. It's really a weird situation if the Rehgar dives in and there's a Dehaka drag, then you lose your support. And you're going against a double support, so you don't want to lose that healing at all.
Yeah. You're going to have a big problem if you do. It's going to get out sustained. And then Tracer just suddenly becomes this unkillable machine. She doesn't have mana, only cooldowns. Gonna be longer soon after the rework, but she will do more damage. It's really interesting, the Tracer rework. I feel like some players like Duda will really struggle to play Tracer after the rework, but players like Rich might actually prefer it. So, and we'll see. Okay, Jung-Ah getting locked in here. No real escape, but good trades here. By Ballistix actually helps Jung-Ah finish his quest as well. Body soaks, meanwhile in mid, and now top for Abathur.
With joins and misses the drag onto Arthas. Was looking for a lucky one.
SC gets caught though, no way out. Already used his dash, stun lock there. Ooh, Dudu gets out, dodges the root. Been a pretty bloody first 5 minutes of the game.
SC pushing to the maximum. Top lane
Modern
on
Life caught. So close to getting root there, gets the dash. A broccoli build here.
Pulse Bomb onto Hooligan. Oh, super low. Here comes Diablo with the extra bit of damage to do get a kill. Finally on that. Jung-Ah still trying to buy time. Arthas does not really have an escape. Focus fired.
No mana either. Barely gonna get blown up here by the Tracer. Very aggressive plays here. BlossoM gonna take the lead in experience now.
Oh man. Just knowing that Ballistix will have super power after 10 with the clone. Destroying them before 10.
Yeah, totally controlling the macro at the moment.
And also stealing Dehaka is working like a charm right now. They have their own global. Misses the drag a few times, but because of those picks, and because of Arthas most likely, can't really synergize with the other ones. Not enough speed to actually catch into the targets.
Gondar's got those stacks now too. He's beefy.
Ooh, 7-sided.
I did not expect that.
Because of Arthas most likely, I think.
I guess that's the logical explanation.
If not Arthas, I think Palm nearly 100%. But they have Isolation, APOC. They can pair up with lots of other CCs. So why not drag and 7-side and get one kill? That's a way of finishing the team fight actually.
Yeah. Way easier said than done, but could be executed. SC gets stopped there for just a moment, but will survive through.
It almost seems like they're intentionally losing this war so that Dehaka can join in. Here comes Dehaka.
There he comes, looking for the drag. Could be all Hooligan.
Rooted by Arthas.
Okay, cleansed already, but then dragged.
7-sided into the multiple targets. Not really getting the damage done.
Not doing much for them there. They have the tranquility to heal up. Again, Abathur, body soaking top though. They gain the control of this altar. The first one.
Healing, and actually the minion stops Malfurion from channeling that. I think he could have had that if not the minion was there.
Yeah, that's very annoying. Minion getting involved in other people's business. Ancestral Gonna negate this pulse bomb. Here comes the blade. Oh man, the mega roots plus Sank. This blade is doing some serious damage. Gondar comes in here with the APOC, but it's not going to be enough to save his teammates. In fact, he'll die as well, and that's all his souls gone. This is going to be a huge turning point in this game. So I got a little bit weird for a second there, but SC was unable to get the kill there onto Dudu. Can they get this bell tower? I think so.
They want 10 shots, since they're behind in core HP. And they will.
They're going to get it.
That took a long time. I think BlossoM, they really pushed in because they hit 10 first. And they had the Haka coming in, but Arthur's great roots for retreat. And after Ballistix hit 10, that was their time to push in. Nice Ancestral, just keeping Arthurs alive. And once Arthurs was alive, Pulse Bomb landing on Arthurs, most of the damage was basically nullified by the Ancestral. Great teamwork by Ballistix.
Do you feel like the Twilight Dream might have been the better option here?
If they were going for 7-sided and everything together, maybe, but maybe Twilight Dream and Palm the other way around.
Yeah. You have that way. You have great defense against Genji's dive, and you have a way to save somebody. Daka is split soaking top right now. Need to be careful because he can come down anytime. SC is the target again. Pulsed. Has the deflection this time. Will get over the wall, and they have the spell tower to fall back on. 7-side strike doing a little bit more this time. Tranquility. Is it going to be worth it? This one is forcing Ballistix to disengage just like the previous one, but Daka's getting double soak.
Yes, in the meantime, Daka's getting that double soak, and they will get the bell tower down. They didn't lose anyone else, so they actually caught up in the XP slightly.
Yeah, they're actually about even now.
Good news for BlossoM. They actually, I think, Daka almost opened the wall into the mid lane, so that they can pressure into the bell tower later on. Great trades. Back in part 1, BlossoM crumbled against Ballistix. How they were able to actually climb up from the bottom since 2017.
Yeah.
This amazes me already.
This doesn't happen in Korean Heroes esports. Like, it just, you don't really have these sort of Cinderella stories very often. This is
rarely, except for StarCraft.
Yeah. But I mean, in Heroes, like, specifically, we don't have this very often. Okay.
Double charging into Hooligan.
He's blown up here.
Sank canceled.
Lots of damage coming through, as you say. Sank canceled. That's the most important part. Dudu will go down here. SD gets the clone over the wall. It's going to be double dashes, double damage. Wiz gets a drag here. They're going to look for the kill on Magi, but he's just too tanky. Tranquility yet again, but they can't really do anything without damage. Tracer's their main source. This is just a clone, so nobody get too excited. In fact, the Fleck can keep the clone alive a little bit longer. But they're just trying to pad his stats. So, experience still stays about the same.
But this is different.
That was a scary moment. Gets the drag force to cleanse.
Man, both of these teams looking for that tiny angle to dive in and get the kill. Really well reacted by both teams. But losing a Tracer was very painful. Right there, Dudu has to be careful. Lots of CC. One route will basically lead into the death. Look at this push. Tracer was doing the camp, but because of this push, forces a rotation top now.
Yeah, taking the safe route. Losing the bell tower though to minions means that she's gonna have to come back, I think, to deal with that. This is rough for BlossoM. They could end up losing 15 core health at worst case here if they end up messing up this fight. Daka's trying to keep this even, but they're going to be against level 16 for a minute here. These are going directly to the core if they get through. So BlossoM has to give full attention here. 12 seconds until Abathur can even steal one of these altars. He might actually take the middle one. That's the one they have the most coverage of right now. Meanwhile, you can see that the channel is going on for Hooligan. Hooligan channel's left side. Rhaegar gets mid. So that's 10 shots confirmed. And did they get anything from those camps? I don't think so. Yeah, just the last one going to be killed right here.
They're lacking some range damage. So if Ballistix, if they keep on defending the wave, it becomes very hard for BlossoM to actually take this bell tower down. So they're coming in. Delaying a little bit with the Holy Ground. And meanwhile, Arthas is doing the own camp, just in case, so that they can actually get more shots. Or if this Bell Tower goes down, they can actually take it back right after. Dehaka pushing in, but a little bit too slow because that Sonya was banned.
Yeah. Okay. This is an opportunity. Pulse Bomb. We're looking for where it's landing. SC still has deflect, so that's not going to be a realistic target right now. Look at the Abathur synergy as well, just trying to set up these fake flanks. Or they're trying to look like, I'm going over here, you should come and check it out. And then hit them with the mines, dismount them, damage them. This camp should be stopped in its tracks, but it's taking a long time to do so. Luckily for BlossoM, know their objectives on the map during this. Well, this would be really disastrous. Double Howling Blast there. Now the mini wave is finally cleared. There is an opportunity. God, the Tyrael shields just make it so difficult to crack through, though.
Even the sappers with all the shield. Get all the power up.
It's true.
Dehaka finally going near the fort. Took a long time to destroy that wall.
Can definitely swing things around if they can get a pick. Hooligan is the target here. Seven-sided not used, actually. Despite the fact that he was isolated there.
Maybe he was trying to drag out the Sanctification at least.
Dehaka's going mid. He's not actually coming down to grab the altar. He's not actually coming down to fight this. They're going to lose it. They need to do something during this time. Just getting a bell tower alone I don't think is going to be enough. They stay ahead in experience, or even I should say, but they bring themselves down to 8. They barely stopped the 5th one from going through. There would have been 7.
Only 8 left.
Yeah.
1 altar plus boss.
What their opponents have.
GG.
Altar plus boss, 2 altars.
Though it seems like Dehaka has been working on that global forever, not really getting anything done too much.
Just experience, not actual damage done to structures. Experience alone, it's impactful, which means that BlossoM is not fighting at like level 15 right now or anything like that, but...
Oh, it's risky against the Tyrael with the Holy Ground, so they're baiting it. Here comes Gondar.
Okay, looking for a fight here. They want to actually force out the Sank. The Sank comes early, Ancestral also wasted. But the Dragon Blade's doing a ton of damage. Dude cannot die here. He cannot die, but he's dead. Clone comes through. This looks like this might be the wipe, the fight to end the game. To put Ballistix on match point. Wiz goes down. Sanctification just too powerful in this choke point. Ice Block buying Nasong some time. But it's not going to be the fantastic on of this game we see. It's just going to be a shutdown, total team wipe. The experience lead that they had is now taken away. We'll have 20 after grabbing this bell tower. They can make a boss play, and all they need is 1 altar to win the game. In fact, double altar is another win condition.
Yes, they will have 20, and also they're looking for 6 shots now. Basically, they can finish the game any way they want to do so. They have all the time, all 5 men still dead. Crucial timing for Gondar made it really hard in that choke point. Was the perfect place to press that R button for APOC, but he was waiting for that Sanctification and lost that timing. It's really hard as a Diablo player against that Sanctification, also the Ancestral, but came in way too late due to was basically getting chased down by Genji. And that's GG.
GG. BlossoM taken out in this 3rd game. Puts Ballistix on match point.